Hey guys, I've been wanting to do this video on the gallbladder for a minute and got everything on my cool board that decided it wants to reflect everything back. My cool board's mean. It's kind of rude. But anyways, we're going to push forward and get this information out there. So, liver and gallbladder. I'm a huge fan of the liver. The gallbladder is completely overlooked. By the time it starts screaming, hey, I've got some issues, they want to go in there and just cut it out. We want to know why that gallbladder is important. We want to always ask the whys when it comes to anything. So a lot of times you're being treated for a secondary, not a primary, which isn't, doing anything about the main cause. You've got the liver produces bile, but 20 times more concentrated is the bile found in the gallbladder. So that bile is like your super detergent. It really gets in there and washes the fats you eat and stuff like that. So if you don't have the proper amount of bile, then you're going to have problems. Because without the gallbladder, then you just have the gall duct, and you have only the bile from the liver, not the concentrated bile that's, like I said, 20 times more concentrated that's in that gallbladder. Some of the hidden gallbladder symptoms, so we can really break this down: bloating, belching, burping. If you're not digesting your fats, it's going to speak. So you're going to be very talkative out of both ends possibly. Low thyroid. This one's pretty big because the thyroid, I'm not going to get off into that one because I could do a lot more on that one. Thyroid, 90% of thyroid is secondary to a primary. So it's not the primary cause. Here's just one of them. If you're not got the proper bile to break stuff down through here, your T4 and T3, 80% of the conversion from the inactive T4 to the active T3 happens in your liver. If you don't have a good working gallbladder, that conversion does not happen. It's not going to happen. Your liver's stressed out because your gallbladder's stressed out, and it's just nobody's having fun, and there's no conversion parties. So, toxins. Once again, you got a weak gallbladder. It affects the liver, and you've got toxins. Not satisfied after meals. This one's pretty big because this answered a lot of questions for me, especially different things I've hit my whole entire life. You ever had that feeling like you've got stuff in your gut, and it's like, oh my gosh, how could I fit anything else in there? But I'm still hungry. You're not satisfied after the meal. It's because you're not absorbing your fat-soluble vitamins, which is right over here. This also has to do with cholesterol, which we'll talk about. But not satisfied after meals is because you're not breaking down and absorbing fat-soluble vitamins. Your fat-soluble vitamins are your A, like your eyes. If you got night blindness and stuff, that's a vitamin A deficiency. Vitamin D, good bone health. E, skin and heart. Your K vitamin, K1, K2, that's calcium buildup. That's if you ain't got that wonderful absorbing vitamin, it's like your boatman. Then you get calcium buildup throughout your body, and even calcification of your arteries. This is not a good place to have calcium. With cholesterol, like I said, it has to do with cholesterol. Cholesterol is actually not a fat. A lot of people tend to associate it with a fat. It's a protein that carries fat through the liver. You've got to have the right amount of bile to wash it up and, put things where it needs to go. Constipation. Constipation, this is one of the reasons why you see constipation. It has to do with not breaking down stuff, lubricating the colon. There's multiple reasons, but constipation, one of the sources can be an unhealthy gallbladder. I skipped this one for a second because it's associated with this right side shoulder pain and headaches. This is one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this post outside of my clients in health coaching, was because the multitudes of posts on social media and the people that you talk to and the people that you know that suffer from headaches and migraines. There's a thing called the phrenic nerve that runs behind through here, all the way up through your right side, up through your neck, and in the back of your head. Now this is pretty crazy. Listen up. 90% of headaches and migraine actually has to do with a gallbladder issue. 5% neck. It's where you go to chiropractor, get adjusted, and it feels good. Now, if it's reoccurring, you need to look back at another That's another a primary issue. It's, you know, you're keep treating a secondary. Sinuses, obviously, if you've got sinus congestion, any kind of infections and stuff, that can have headache consequences to it. Menstrual, if it's coming along with your cycle, then we can look into it being an estrogen dominant type issue. 1% left over for like injuries, tumors, the infections and allergies, caffeine withdrawals, hangovers. I mean, some of those things, you know, you kind of do to yourself. But going back up there, 90% with that gallbladder, phrenic nerve. And I'm going to show you right now a way to test to see if maybe the headache of migraine is a gallbladder related issue with acupressure. Let's see if I can get in the frame. Now, if you go the right side of your body where your liver's at, it's like the size of a football. If you go about to the bottom of your rib cage, go about over an inch, down an inch, and like you can see in my wonderful drawing, that the liver's right here and that gallbladder's like tucked up in there. So, and I'm going to stop here. If you're actually hurting in this area, if you have gallstones, if it's already inflamed, do not be jabbing on your gallbladder. You're going to go from that very same spot, draw a line over, and do it on the opposite side, exactly where the pain is happening. Matter of fact, you should actually feel tender on this side. If this is just related for the headaches, the belching, burping, and everything else, then we're going to start over here at the side with the gallbladder. We'll get your position. You don't want to go straight in. You want to kind of go in and up, right through there. You want to hold this for 2 minutes. I also have an acupressure tool. Maybe I'll take a picture. I'll put some stuff with this video or in the comments so you can see it. My fingers, I could have never been a masseuse. I get cramped up, and when I concentrate too hard, I do something wrong when it comes to that. But anyways, I love my acupressure tool because I can just, you know, put the pressure with it, and it holds the positions and stuff. But you want to hold it in there for 2 minutes. And if your headache, starts to relieve, you get relief from those symptoms, and you know it's a gallbladder-related issue. It's got congestion of the gallbladder. Now, we'll go over a few things that can actually help. You don't want to do sugars or refined carbs. You want to reduce fats, and this is one of the things I'm coming to know that people who are, especially if you're into ketogenics without a ketogenic type diet, without some guidance along in there, they're nuts. It's like peanuts and especially walnuts and stuff. They become like the new tater chip when you're on the ketogenic diet, especially if you're not doing it nutritionally, you have cravings and you're wanting, to snack a whole bunch and everything. A lot of people go crazy on the nuts. Nuts are actually really hard for you to break down and are really hard on the gallbladder. If you insist on doing nuts, germinate your nuts. I know that sounds funny, but germinate your nuts. In other words, what you want to do is you want to soak them overnight. You soak them, then you rinse them off really well, and then you could dry them out in the oven for, a little bit, about 150. When you germinate your nuts and your seeds, it has a enzyme inhibitor, so it actually helps break itself down if you germinate it, and for some things, the health properties when you germinate, especially in seeds and stuff like that, you get a lot more benefits out of sprouted nuts and seeds, and the GI relief on that's a lot better. Intermittent fasting, that's where you have a window where you eat and you don't snack. Most people, you get 3 or 2 meals. It's not calorie restriction whatsoever. You're getting in all your nutrients and stuff you need in those meals. But the intermittent fasting, the benefit is because of that bile being used. It's like using a detergent and then not giving it enough time to rebuild itself back up. So if you're constantly eating and snacking, then you're not letting that bile build back up. So intermittent fasting can help. Kale helps a whole bunch. Your greens, especially if you're doing a ketogenic diet, especially if I'm health coaching you, then you'll definitely know this on the proper amount of greens that you need, not only to nourish your body, but to flush those fats through your liver and keep from getting a fatty liver. And of course, kale's got some great properties in there. Choline, that's a supplement you can find at the health food store that helps relax the gallbladder and drain stuff from the liver. So that's another added benefit to supporting the gallbladder is choline, bile salts. Those are my favorite, purified bile salts. And what that is pretty much going to, it's bile. You're supporting the bile, the natural bile in your gallbladder. I will definitely put a link to the gallbladder salts, the gallbladder formulation I take. Because it's not just the bile salts in it. It has other things to help lubricate the colon. It has pancreatic enzymes that work with the gallbladder and liver. Because, you know, like I said, the liver has bile. And then the gallbladder has 20 times more concentrated bile. So, I mean, it really gets in there and scrubs. But it actually doesn't even break it down to the smallest form. The pancreas, which would be right over through here, has pancreatic enzymes that come in and really finish it up in breaking this stuff down. So you want to be able to really support the areas in all of those, the gallbladder, liver, and the pancreas. So that's where we definitely want to start with the gallbladder. Okay, sorry about that. Guess it never falls, so I'm just gonna have to cut it out. Anyways, I'll definitely put a link for the gall salts, the gallbladder formulation that I personally use. I'll be doing a lot more on this because there's a lot more associated with the outside. I just wanted to touch base, especially on the headache and migraine association with the gallbladder and the acupressure, so you can get a feel for, hey, this could be my gallbladder. I don't have to go, you know, get adjusted 1,000 times, keep popping pills, because we always think headache has to do with head, and it doesn't. Dog stepped on the tail here, it's barking over here, so I said that wrong. You stepped on the dog's tail here, and he's barking over here, okay? Anyways, just to kind of give you more to think about. So this is still kind of confusing, and I advise you to get a health coach to help guide you in this wonderful, wonderful world of creating your health and feeling better. God bless.